The past trading session inside crypto was brutal. The alts experienced a black swan event. There was a flight to safety into Bitcoin. Yet, the thing to keep in mind, the crypto market is still above $1 trillion. The greatest gainers in the past 24 hours, Maker, USDP, PaxG, DAI, USDT, USDC, BUSD, USDD, TUSD. Wow, we have a lot of stablecoins in the top gainers. What does that mean? Please let me know in the comments. The greatest losers past 24 hours, top 100, Dash, EOS, Chiliz, Conflux, Aptos, Ape, TWT, Optimism, and Pepe. In this video, we're going to look at what happened in the past trading session, and we're going to look through literally the top 80 plus cryptos to detect strength, weakness, and inversion. And especially today, recovery. Stay tuned, it's going to be a lot of fun. Thank you very much to FT. FT's comment, let's make hitting the like button a habit. Just the same as watching the video every day. Support those that support you. Positive excellence. Have a great day, everyone. FT, that's very beautiful of you, my friend. Yeah, let's smash that like button. Let's have a look at the mischief Bitcoin got up to in the past trading session. We can see this SL at 27,000. Price just couldn't get up to this level. That is significant because if price can't get up to an SL, it's going down to the next SL. And what did we see? Price sold down to that next SL, which is that safety net at around the 25,920. But when you get a climactic sell down like this safety net just isn't enough. It typically has to hit a lower one. And that's what it did at that 25,500 mark. And what did it do? It ended up bouncing up again to that 25,925. Back again to 25,550 and back again to 25,920. You get the concept. SLs are beautiful things. They explain where price will get caught, price will reverse. Price is always ping-ponging between SLs or Standfield levels. SLs are drawn and created through the CTKS method, which is the world's most powerful smart money buy and sell level detection system, and you can learn it for yourself. Tales from the Man Cave says, wow, I just woke up to Solana and Matic down 20%. Thanks to the CTKS service, I was able to confidently run into the burning building and rescue some of these tokens because I knew that there was a safety net in the form of Standfield levels. Also helped some ETH to safety of my wallet. Well done, Tails. We understand Rule 45, no alt can escape Bitcoin's gravity. But there's a bit of a trick to this rule. I want to show you something very, very special. When price, now this is Bitcoin that we're looking at, when price fell down through this SL at around that 25,920 mark and came down to the lower one around 25,540, just look at this pattern that's playing out. It's a very, very important pattern for you to keep in your mind as we go through the top 80 plus cryptos. Thank you, Rundle Ridge, for your very kind comment. Rundle Ridge said, thanks for the videos, Ken and Kate, and also in the CTKS Method service too. Every chart that makes its way into the CTKS Method service will have its own video and projection for the next month. And also, the Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3 charts will come with free indicators. You're seeing the indicator for Bitcoin on the screen at the moment. Rundle Ridge went on to say, we are prepared and not scared. With all of the knowledge in the masterclass and knowing my smart money levels from the CTKS service, I was busy looking at so many charts in the premium version of TradingView. It only lets you look at view 50 at a time. Well, I guess I was looking at a few. That you were, my friend. There was a really good question in the comments from Mavix Trader. Hi Ken, thank you very much for such marvelous information. I have a question. I'd appreciate some comment from you. In which other exchanges besides Binance are you in? Or which others do you consider reliable as well? Mavix Trader, the truth is I'm in every exchange. If it's a top exchange, I'm there with bells on. And why is this? Because I found from many years in doing trading and investing inside the stock market, you really need to spread your capability across multiple platforms. If it's reputable, I'm in. I would suggest doing your own research because it depends what is reputable and not in different countries. I'd like to describe it a little bit like this when it comes to crypto. Say this big red circle is the banking fiat Ponzi system. I'm sorry, the banking system. And the banking system has off-ramps and on-ramps to crypto exchanges. You can see 3 different ones here. What typically happens, you'll take your fiat currency, just your normal currency. It could be US dollars, could be Australian dollars, could be euro, could be anything. And you'll convert it or push it into the exchange. When that is done, it actually removes liquidity from the banking system. The banking system runs on the credit creation multiplier, and the banks make their money between the margin that they have depositors get paid and they get paid from loans. It's very, very interesting. But the concept is when the banking system sees a lot of outflows, and these are external to the banking system, it's not an internal flow from one bank to another bank. It's an external flow from one bank to outside the banking system. And that actually reduces the size of the banking system. Hint, hint, Gary Gensler, go do your job. Just how much money has left the banking system? This is a one-day performance across exchanges. Look at Binance, $67.5 billion. That's just Binance. OKX, nearly $24 billion. And a lot of people say, wow, this must be over an enormous period of time. No, it's over 24 hours. Said a little bit more visually, the banking system used to be like this. It used to be a lot bigger, and it's shrinking. This is why these fiat on-ramps and off-ramps are closing. What does it mean? It's your money, but you can't get it. You can't get it out of the banking system. For example, if this is Binance, you've seen many countries, just what do? They eliminate the on-ramp and the off-ramp. So does that stop you? No, it doesn't. Not even close. This is why you should have a few different exchanges. Binance is the world's largest crypto exchange. Of course, they're attacking that because that's where all the hemorrhaging is coming from. And it's not hard to see if you look at the maps. Okay, let's pretend that we've managed to take our money out of the banking system and put it somewhere that's not inside the banking system, which was the whole point of crypto in the first place. And we convert it to a crypto stablecoin. Remember those greatest gainers in the past 24 hours? And then what do we do with it? We swap one crypto for another. For example, this could be USDT and this could be Bitcoin. I just swap some USDT for Bitcoin. And what about this one? This could be ADA. I swap some USDT for ADA. And what about this? This could be Binance Coin, BNB, or it could be Ethereum, or it could be XRP. It doesn't matter what it is. It's a crypto. So these are crypto to crypto transactions. Oh no, what happened? The on-ramp and off-ramp just got closed. Oh no, what do we do? Can we get our money out? Of course you can. It's so simple. All you need to do is to transfer, if you want to, either the cryptos, and these are exchanges with on-ramps and off-ramps. And don't forget, you can transfer crypto anywhere in the world. And there are so many countries that are crypto friendly. El Salvador is one. The UAE is another. How can you do this? You can either transfer your stable coin, say USDT, across to this exchange. This happens on chain, but it's so simple and it takes less than 5 minutes. And if you've got millions and millions of dollars in USDT, you can do it in a heartbeat. You can even transfer your USDT to another country. You don't have to stick inside your own country. You can do it whatever. And the question is, does that generate tax implications? No, it doesn't, because you own that particular account on both exchanges. So just be aware of that. That's a pretty cool thing as well. Typically, people do it inside their own country. When it comes to transferring externally between countries, just keep an eye on that. It's probably a good idea to have a chat with an accountant or a tax specialist, because tax laws are different in every single country. What about the fact that you may not have USDT or a stablecoin? Maybe you've got Bitcoin and you may want to transfer that across to another exchange, or transfer your Ethereum or ADA or XRP to another exchange. Yes, you can do that. And you can also self-custody. What is self-custody? That's just your own wallet. You don't have to transfer it to another exchange. You can self-custody on your own wallet. And some of these wallets are pretty clever. They can buy and sell as well. And you can even do it like this. You can take it completely outside the system and just put it in your hot little pocket. What does this actually mean? It means to us, don't worry about on-ramps and off-ramps. What you're actually looking at is an implosion inside the banking system. The banking system used to be a lot bigger. It was the only game in town. People had to put money somewhere. Of course, they popped it in the banks. But now you have a choice. You can take it outside the banking system. And the banking system, as a result, is shrinking. Oh no. What can they do? Oh, I got it. They can legislate. They can stop the on-ramps and off-ramps. But that's only on a country-by-country basis. And you will find that a lot of the on-ramps exist on other platforms. The thing to understand, the banking system just has to close these on-ramps and off-ramps. It's just shrinking in size. This is what's happening to the banking system. And what's happening to the crypto ecosystem, it's just growing and growing and growing. This is what the banks are afraid of. And you might say, Ken, what do you know about banks? Well, I did a finance degree, started it 37 years ago, and I've worked for a lot of the banks. One thing that I can tell you, the banks are very risk averse. They do not embrace new technology. They don't. That's not their bag. But don't forget, there are other exchanges, other countries that are very, very crypto friendly. You can transfer crypto anywhere in the world, just the same as you would transfer it locally. I hope this little explanation has helped you. A lot of what we currently see inside the market, these closing off of off-ramps and on-ramps, is specifically designed to freak people out. And it's doing a really good job of that. And we can see it right here inside the price charts. One thing, as we've been speaking, we saw that Bitcoin was trying to come up and challenge this 25,925 level. It didn't do so. It's retreating. But what does it mean? If it's not surpassing it, it's going back to the next one. It's ping-ponging between levels. We really need to get above literally the $26,000 mark for the crypto markets to start recovering. So let's go a little bit more deeply. We know that no alt can escape Bitcoin's gravity. Look at this very, very interesting pattern. I wonder if we see it playing out on the alts. Oh, yes we do. Look at this. It's almost like magic, isn't it? Well, it is magic. It's the magic of Rule 45. No alt can escape Bitcoin's gravity. Looking now at the top 8, and poor old Matic has dropped out. Matic, we miss you. Come back. And when we look at Bitcoin's gravitational pull, we know that there's a smart money sell level right there. Just something to keep your eye on. What is Ethereum doing? It's weaker than Bitcoin's gravity. Why did Bitcoin hold up so well and the alts bleed so much? Well, it's simply a flight to safety. The thing to always bear in mind, Bitcoin's gravitational force field is always impacting the alts. We've seen Bitcoin start to come down. What's BNB doing? Starting to come down. XRP starting to come down. ETH starting to come down. ADA, Doge, you get the idea. Solana, Tron. The most natural thing in the world for people to do when price is coming down like this, it's to run away from the market. Instead, what we like to do is we like to accumulate on days like this, especially, and I'll show you the ADA support levels. One thing that you might want to keep in mind, you probably want to keep your percentages relatively tight. If you're getting 5% or 10%, that's a pretty good effort, especially under such market conditions. As eagles, we're actually leaning into this market as we speak, but a lot of people won't be. A lot of people will see these kind of spikes and just run. They'll participate in making the spike deeper, and it's a big problem. It's hard, it's difficult to emotionally overcome. That's why your trading and investing mindset is the first thing that needs to be worked on. It's often the last thing worked on, or if at all. ADA was released into the CTKS Method service, as was the indicator. Mark said a very beautiful thing. Mark said, I have to say that I was waiting so long for the service to release, and it is a game changer. Since I have all the Standfield levels for the Tier 1, I'm much more synchronized with the market. Amazing. Well done, Mark. That's what it's there for, my friend. When we look at ADA's sell-off, it was a pretty brutal sell-off. A lot of people would be freaking out around here. Of course, it's really difficult to deal with unless you're mentally prepared and strengthened for it. That's why your three-dimensional risk management code is so important to do. Know what you will do if price goes down, goes up, or goes nowhere. Thank you, Jeffrey, for your very kind comment. The CTKS method provides the X-ray vision to give you the confidence to scale in. As professionals, we are prepared and not scared. So where are these mythical levels on ADA? We can see that ADA's price just did a cascading, well, it was a hellhole of a ride down. But if people were prepared, it would be a very different thing. Let's pop on the indicator. How do we do that? We just pop it on like that. One thing that we see, ADA was struggling right back here a couple of days ago. It has been struggling for a little while. It didn't manage to get above this particular smart money once a buy level, then turn to a sell level at around that 29.48 mark. We saw it dip under and it couldn't get above. What is the rule with price action? If one SL can't hold it, it's magnetized to the next SL. And it's the same when we go on top, and I'll explain that. You can see it's not holding it. Where is it going? To the next one. It's not holding it. Where is it going? It really didn't hold it. This is wholesale panic inside the market. This is a safety net. They were fairly good safety nets, but panic breaks through safety nets. This is something you must be aware of. When you get panic inside the market, you need a greater confluence of SLs. They will help. And what did we see? There was that confluence between 24.59 and around that 24.26 mark. We also saw some lighter SLs down around the 22.70 mark. And what happened to price? It pinged down and then got gravitationally pulled back, and this is why these SLs are magnetized. I'm always talking about magnetization inside the market. This is where the SLs come into play. And even if price was going down here, we know that these SLs have magnetic capability. So potentially scaling in wouldn't be a bad idea around that potential point. And what did we see? I might just zoom in here a little bit so you can see. What we saw, price getting magnetized and then starting to get over, starting to get over the next level, starting to get over the next levels. But you can see this particular 25.21 was a very stiff area of resistance until it got above. Now, where is it going to head now? 26.10 or back to 25.21? And we can see came back and then pumped through. This is the power of the SLs. They tell you so much about where price is going. It was going above, so we would anticipate the next SL, but it broke below. When it breaks below, don't forget there's enormous amounts of concern and worry inside the crypto market. A lot of people don't know what you know. A lot of people don't realize that they can actually just transfer their assets between different exchanges, wallets, or even different countries. It's pretty much straightforward. What did we see? When price got above this 2640, where was it heading? Up to the next SL at 2760. And what is happening now? It's trying to get above. You can see that there's so much positive momentum, but it's not made it so far. What does this mean? This line is still magnetized, that 2760, but we could be coming back to the 2640 mark. So just keep these things in mind. What is above us? We've got some sellers. Now this is the problem. What we do with the Standfield levels and the CTKS method, we trade the right hand side of the chart. We do not trade the left, we trade the right. I want you to think about it like this. If you don't have the indicator on, where do you know that the strength of the support and resistance levels actually are? You just don't know. You would be guessing. And we don't like to guess. Professionals do not guess. They know. Kacharia 1986 did very, very well. We know the price moves in waves, and often one of the best times to get in is when price is cascading down. We'll keep on looking through those top alts, but you can see we often get a lot of technical bounces inside the market, but it really depends on the market structure as well. The CTKS method gives you a lot of confidence to know where smart money is scaling in and scaling out. We're always looking for safety nets and ceilings. When you have climactic action like this, you know that there's a lot of safety nets around this particular point. Price is likely to get pulled back to that area. Price is also likely to get pulled back to that 2950 area as well. Price is always ping-ponging between SLs. And if you want to see where the higher and lower SLs are on ADA, you can get the actual indicator and you can pop it on your own chart inside the service. The indicators are free, but they do require that you have a subscription to the service. If you don't, the indicators will stop working. The key is to look at what Bitcoin is doing. We can see, looking at the next group of 8, Litecoin is a little bit light at the moment because it's not going really anywhere. Litecoin tends to recover quickly and tends to sell off traumatically. It tends to over-exaggerate Bitcoin's movements. It's a good one to keep on your radar. Matic, we see Matic not doing too badly. It's getting up to this first hump. How does that compare with SHIB? SHIB is way above that first hump. What about DOT? Is that above or below? It's above. What about here on AVAX? Slightly above. What am I doing here? I'm searching out strength. What about Atom? Just slightly above. Now this hump is a little bit weird, isn't it? To figure out on XMR, it's probably about here, or maybe about there. So XMR is significantly above. Why do we do this? Why are we looking in this way? Because we want to detect strength and weakness. What about Link? It's looking a little weak at the moment. This kind of comparative analysis can be very, very good to do. What about Uni? It has a moderate amount of strength. XLM, not so much. What about Ethereum Classic? Yeah, it's got some. What about Bitcoin Cash? Yes, it has some. It's actually doing quite well. What about ICP? It's not too bad, but just average. LDO, definitely under, definitely weak. Let's have a look at Filecoin. You can see I'm using the same kind of comparative basis. This is what you want to do. What about Filecoin? Yes, that's not too bad. That's a little bit stronger. What about HBAR? Yes, definitely stronger. Looking at the next group of 8, we can see ARB. Whoa, that is massive weakness on ARB's point. What about Quant? No, looking really good. Looking very good, in fact. Could be one to keep on your radar. What about Aptos? Weaker. What about VET? Stronger, much stronger. NEAR, weaker. What about the graph, GRT? Much stronger. You want to get into strength on days like today. If you get into weakness, it's going to get a lot weaker in all probability. Having a look at Rocket Pool. Rocket Pool is all over the place. This is very thin volume as well. You might get a Hotel California type trade. What about APE? APE looking weaker at the present time. Turning to the next group of 8, how's Algo doing? It's doing quite well. It's showing relative strength. What about EGLD? Also showing a degree of strength. What about Stacks, STX, showing strength? Aave, not really, showing pretty much a lot of weakness there. We would expect Aave to be up further at the moment. EOS also showing weakness. Sand, weakness. Wow, look at Render token. It's all over the place. But unfortunately, it's not all over the place in a good way. If we look at this initial sell-off, Render token sold off, tried to recover, and look at how weak it is. It is massively weak at the present time. What about OP? OP is a really interesting token. Wow, 32% down. Ouch! But if you buy in the right place, you're going to do well. And this is the key to all of trading and investing. And remember, all investors become traders anytime they buy or sell. So investing with timing is a really, really good idea. Talking a little bit about timing, the quadruple witching is coming up on Friday the 16th of June. That will create some turbulence in the main markets that will definitely spill over into crypto. There's a lot happening in this coming week. The Hinman documents will be unsealed. The FOMC will have their meeting. It's going to be really interesting, very turbulent. And thank you very much, Dinesh. Dinesh says, this week I actually used the Tesla CTKS levels to make decisions on Tesla trades. I can definitely say the CTKS method service Standfield levels completely changed the way I read price actions. Well done, Dinesh. And Tails, who loves Tesla, said absolutely, SLs on Tesla were really informative this week. And if you would like to get the SLs on Tesla and overlay it on your Tesla chart, you can do so. The indicator is inside the service. Going deeper into the top 80, we can see XTZ really sold off, but showing a degree of strength at the moment. What about Phantom, FTM? It's showing a moderate amount of strength. What about Theta? We know that no alt can escape Bitcoin's gravity. That's why I spent quite some time on the Bitcoin chart so that you could see it as we overlay these different alts. What about Mana? Mana is not doing too badly. It has some kind of recovery going on, but it's still quite suppressed. Not so with Maker. Look at Maker. Maker is just partying. It's one of the strongest that we've seen so far. Axie Infinity. Also part of the SEC's action. Don't forget, the SEC says that everything is a security. Every crypto is a security. Everything else on the planet is a security. Postage stamps. Oh, if you collect postage stamps, that must be a security. What about if you collect coins? Oh, that's a security, according to Gary. And what about trading cards? It's got trading in the name. That must be a security. Protect us from profit, Gary Gensler. Okay, just something to be aware of. Having a look at Curve, you can see that relative weakness in CRV. Why is weakness an issue? Because on days like today and the market we are experiencing right now, the weak tend to get a lot weaker. The strong tend to get a lot stronger. It depends what side of the market you're taking and what your goals and objectives are, but just bear that particular thing in mind. What about Immutable X? Well, the X's are winning. Michael always talks about Immutable X like it's a person. His X that never goes away. Having a look at the next group, we can see Neo doing Neo things, fighting the Matrix and going up. Well done, Neo and Matrix. Wow, what a film. Flow just kind of flatlining at the moment. Lunacy is actually looking strong. What about Conflux, CFX? It's looking pretty weak at the moment. PAX G, you know that PAX G just wobbles around a lot more than its physical counterpart, but that can be really good as well. Chili's, basically just a little bit weaker at the current time. What about Clayton? Looking stronger. Go Clayton. What about Gala? Not throwing any parties right now. It's just pretty much flatlining. You can see that the crypto market, pretty much anywhere you look, the charts are basically the same. They're either flatlining and just wobbling around that previous recovery high here, or they're going down, like Injective. You can see a lot of negative momentum on Injective at the moment. Contrast that to Maker. The kind of trades and investments really depend on you, and it depends on your trading and investing style. If you're just accumulating, this is the time to do it, definitely. But make sure that you understand the structure of the market. Let's look at Carver, just a bit weaker at the current time. If we look at Injective, yes, it's a lot weaker and showing weakness. You can use Injective as a bit of a canary in the coal mine to try to determine what Bitcoin could be doing. This is a way that you can use the lower alts to try to estimate Bitcoin's future gravitational bias. Bit of an advanced tip there, but it's a good one. What about IOTA? Wow, IOTA, you're making so many people happy. Look at that strength. That's fantastic. GMX, pretty much flatlining, not really recovering that much. Mina, you can see its initial bounce was not like the other ones. It was pretty suppressed. But Mina is actually recovering. Let's have a look at Sui. Sui is stronger. What about Pepe? Pepe is doing Pepe things right now. It's just a little bit weaker. One of the things that we noted recently, Bitcoin started to come down. Look at FXS, Fracture. Look at that weakness. It was actually telegraphing that Bitcoin could come down. You can use the minor alts to guide your trading and investment decisions. Having a look at Nexo. Nexo is really bizarre. That's a very, very interesting chart pattern. We've seen two of these really interesting chart patterns. This is probably the most interesting. It's actually stronger than Bitcoin's gravity at the moment. Go Nexo. What about Dash? Dash is basically flatlining from that first recovery hump. What about Rune? Wow, look at the spike on Rune. Some shorts really got whacked there. And what we can see, very negative suppression of prices. So just keep that one in mind. It's a little bit weaker. What about TWT? Oh, Trust Wallet. Trust Wallet's crying. Nobody trusts the Trust Wallet at the moment. This is a really interesting thing. With centralized exchanges getting hammered by the SEC, you would have thought the Trust Wallet would be saying, hey guys, time to party. Put your money in me. But the market's saying, no. Let's have a look at Woo. Woo, look at that big shot down. This is why if you know the internal structure, you can do really, really well. But you have to be patient. For so long, we've just seen upward price potential inside the markets. Now we're getting some retracement. It's catching a lot of people off guard. But if you're ready for it, wow, you can do fantastically well. We can see Woo is just recovering in terms of the price. It's just at that initial blip high. What about Cake? Cake is under. Another interesting one for it to be under. What about Mask? Mask is just literally at the same price as that initial blip up. It's sometimes really interesting to go into the outer reaches of the top 100, and we're there right now together, so we're both safe. It's all good. Let's have a look at GNO. That definitely sold down, but it did really, really well, only down 6.65%, rather than what you see in a lot of the other alts. What about LRC? It all popped down. You notice the same pattern, popping down, popping down, popping down, popping up and recovering, or flatlining from that first hump. We can see LRC just a little bit weaker. What about Zilliqa, ZIL? Just a little bit weaker as well from that first hump. We're doing comparative analysis here. Comparative analysis is a really good thing to do. The CVX, we can see that CVX spike was fairly high. It did quite well, but it's just a little bit under that. But forming a consolidation base, if Bitcoin starts to turn around, I think we're going to see a lot of partying action in these alts. Remember, most people flee the market at times like this. These are the times when personally I get very, very excited. I literally say, about time. I've been waiting so long. Let's have a look at Rose. Rose, you can see, has not really got over that, and it's creating a lot of internal structure that it needs to get over as well. What about BAT, Basic Attention Token? It's looking quite good. What about Engine Coin? Well, its engine is on idle at the moment, just meeting that first recovery blip. What about ENS? Wow, looking a little bit stronger. Just returning to ADA, always remember how you can apply these SL lines, these Standfield levels. Look at the particular level. Is it holding? If it's not holding, it's going to the lower one. If it's getting above, it's going to the next one up. So you can say holding, next one up. Failing, next one down. It's a really, really good way to look at the market. And thank you, Fabs, for your very kind comment. Bitcoin is currently 25,786. We have that SL up there at 25,925. And the SL below is 25,549. You can see a lot of negative and positive price momentum inside Bitcoin. It's trying to determine, do I get above this SL and go higher, or do I go below this SL and go lower? If you want to know all the levels for the month and to get this indicator, just pop across to the CTKS Method service. That is at ctksmethod.org. Crypto is an incredibly resilient market because the people inside crypto are incredibly resilient people. What we're witnessing right now is a flight to safety into the major alts, especially Bitcoin. Something very cool to understand. If we have continuous flows into Bitcoin, you know Bitcoin's gravity will impact all of these alts and push them up. Yesterday, as things were selling off, ADA, Solana, Matic, they were just, it's a bloodbath, but a bloodbath that you want to get involved in, because if you have the knowledge, if you have that emotional mastery, if you've transformed fear into courage, because you have the knowledge of where the levels are and how the safety nets work, you can actually do really, really well at times like this. But if you went the other way, if you felt, wow, this is so red, I feel so bad, that's okay, because this is just what markets do to us all the time. It takes a long, long time to disconnect the fear-based response. After all, your money is on the line and nobody likes to lose money, ever. Inside the CTKS Method service, which is exclusively available from ctksmethod.org, you get the Tier 1s and the Tier 1 indicators as well that you can overlay on that specific chart. Tier 1 are the engine of global financial markets. Tier 2 is the confirmation of the engine. And I was listening to people and they say, Ken, we don't want bonds. Can you migrate Microsoft into the Tier 2? And that is a very fair thing to do, because we've got the US 2-year, the US 10-year, and bonds just go inversely to that. So we don't need 3 things to confirm. 2 is fine. So I'm actually popping Microsoft into the Tier 2. And that opens up another slot in the Tier 3. For all of the people who are inside the CTKS Method monthly service, please go to 00. Go across to vote on your favorite charts. There is a very good form inside there that you can vote on your favorites. I'll be looking for the next Tier 3, so please get into it. Just to let everybody know, yesterday Copper and ADA were released. Their indicators are now on the service. There are 4 stages that all investors and traders progress through to become consistently profitable and attain mastery of fear, which is positive excellence. Zone 1, panic. Zone 2, blame. Zone 3, professional. Zone 4, independent. When you look at Zone 1 and 2, it's all about certainty. People want certainty. There's no certainty inside financial markets. There's only stacking of probabilities. With those stacking of probabilities combined with rules, you can create a level of certainty that can actually push you forward, and push you forward in a really, really good way. But you need knowledge and skill as well. In Zone 1 and 2, people would be terrified of what was happening in the last 24 hours. Inside Zone 3 and Zone 4, they're very optimistic about price action like that. This is one of the ways that you can dig down deep and say to yourself, and you don't need to tell anybody else about it. It can be, how did I react to this sell-off? If you reacted really cool, calm and collected, even thought, wow, this is an incredible opportunity to get in, you're inside Zone 3 and Zone 4. Congratulations. If you had the panic, if you were feeling very angry about the markets coming down, know that that's how about 95% of people feel. It's not unusual. It's just a stepping stone on the journey to getting into Zone 3 and Zone 4. If you keep with it, with dedication and commitment, you will get there. If you're feeling that burn and that pain, please be kind to yourself. It's very, very important. Just use it as a learning experience. With your persistence and commitment and your gratitude for being inside one of the most incredible markets on the planet, you will convert your fear, your disappointment into profitability and courage later on. We are a global family of eagles. We are dedicated and committed, and we win or learn and never blame. We know that life pullbacks give us the strength for the next life rally. And every day we show kindness, integrity and gratitude because we know the universe wants us to succeed. Have a great day or night ahead, my friends, and Kate and I look forward to catching up with you again tomorrow. Bye for now.